If you're over 65 and you think walking is the best thing you can do for your health, stay with me, because what I'm about to share might completely change the way you exercise from today forward. Walking is good, yes. It's familiar, it's safe, and it feels productive. But here's the honest truth that almost nobody talks about. Walking alone is not enough anymore once you pass a certain age. In fact, there are 3 simple exercises that can do more for your strength, balance, mobility, and independence than walking ever could. And the best part is, you don't need a gym, fancy equipment, or years of experience to do them. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what those 3 exercises are, why they're so powerful for people over 65, and how to start doing them safely right away. Let me start by saying this clearly, because I know someone needs to hear it. If you're walking every day and you're proud of that, you should be. That habit alone puts you ahead of so many people. But walking mainly works your heart and lungs. It does very little to protect you from the things that actually take independence away. We age like muscle loss, weak legs, poor balance, joint stiffness, and fear of falling. Those are the real threats after 65. Not a lack of steps, but a lack of strength, stability, and confidence in your body. I've seen this over and over again. Someone walks faithfully for years, but still struggles to get out of a chair, still feels unsteady on stairs, still worries about falling, still loses muscle in their legs and hips. And then one day, they stop walking because their knees hurt or the weather is bad, and suddenly their health declines fast. That's not because walking was bad. It's because walking wasn't enough. The human body was designed to push, pull, bend, and stabilize itself. As we age, we need exercises that remind our body how to do those things. And that brings us to the first exercise, which I honestly believe is one of the most important movements you can do for the rest of your life. The sit-to-stand exercise may look simple, almost too simple to mirror. But I want you to understand something very important. This single movement is directly connected to your independence. Every time you get out of a chair, every time you stand up from bed, every time you rise from the toilet or step out of a car, you are doing this movement. When it becomes hard, life becomes hard. When it stays strong, life stays easier. Many people don't realize how quickly leg strength declines with age if it's not challenged. Walking keeps you moving, but it doesn't ask your muscles to lift your full body weight through a full range of motion. Standing up from a chair does. That's why someone can walk every day and still struggle to rise from a seat without using their hands. That struggle is a warning sign, not of aging itself, but of muscle loss that can be reversed. When you practice sit-to-stands on purpose, you are training the biggest and most important muscles in your body. Your thighs, your hips, your glutes, and your core all work together in one coordinated effort. These muscles are your power muscles. They are what protect your knees, support your back, and keep you steady when you move. Strong legs don't just make standing easier, they make everything easier. I want you to picture this for a moment. Imagine being able to stand up smoothly without pushing off the armrests. Imagine not needing to rock back and forth to gain momentum. Imagine standing tall at the top instead of feeling shaky or off balance. That confidence comes from practicing this exact movement regularly. Here's how I want you to approach it. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Your feet should be about hip width apart, not too close together, not too wide. Sit tall, don't slump. Before you stand, lean your chest slightly forward. This isn't cheating. It's how the body naturally moves. Then press through your heels and stand up. Take your time. Feel your legs working. At the top, stand tall for a second. Then slowly sit back down under control. That slow lowering phase is just as important as standing up. Many people drop back into the chair without thinking. But when you lower yourself slowly, your muscles are working even harder. That's where strength is built. That's where control is learned. Control is what prevents falls. Now, if you need to use your hands, that is perfectly okay. This is not a test. It's training. You can place your hands on the armrests on your thighs or even hold onto the edge of the chair. What matters is that you're trying. Over time, as your legs get stronger, you'll naturally rely on your hands less and less. One day you'll notice you didn't use them at all, and that moment feels incredibly empowering. One of the biggest mistakes people make is avoiding movements that feel hard. But difficulty doesn't mean danger. It often means weakness, and weakness is exactly what we're trying to fix. Of course, you should never push through sharp pain, but a little effort, a little shaking, a little muscle fatigue, that's normal and safe when done slowly and with control. Another powerful benefit of sit-to-stands is how they improve balance without you even realizing it. When you stand up, your body has to shift weight, stabilize your ankles, knees, hips, and spine all at once. Your brain is constantly adjusting to keep you upright. That coordination is balance training. It's subtle, but it's incredibly effective. This exercise also protects your joints. Strong muscles act like shock absorbers. When your legs are weak, your joints take more stress. When your legs are strong, your muscles take the load instead. That means less strain on your knees and hips over time, not more. I also want to talk about posture for a moment. When you stand up properly, chest lifted, shoulders relaxed, head tall, you are reinforcing good posture. Poor posture often starts with weak legs and hips. When your lower body is strong, your upper body naturally stacks better. You stand taller without forcing it. Here's something else that doesn't get talked about enough. Sit-to-stands train your confidence. Fear of falling is one of the biggest reasons people move less as they age. But when you repeatedly practice a movement that once felt difficult and it starts to feel easier, your trust in your body grows. You stop second-guessing yourself. You move more freely. You don't need to do a lot of repetitions to get benefits. Even 5 to 10 controlled repetitions, once or twice a day, can make a difference. You can do them in the morning to wake up your legs. You can do them during TV commercials. You can do them before bed. There's no special time required. If you want to make it slightly harder over time, you can slow it down even more. You can pause halfway up for a second. You can lower yourself for a count of 3 or 4. You can hold a light object close to your chest. But none of that is required at the beginning. The most important thing is consistency. And let me be very clear about this. This is not about looking fit or athletic. This is about being able to live your life on your terms. This is about not needing help when you don't want it. This is about preserving your independence for as long as possible. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s completely change how they move just by committing to this one exercise. Getting out of chairs becomes effortless. Stairs become less intimidating. Walks feel smoother and more stable. That's because this movement strengthens the foundation of everything else you do. Walking is forward motion. Sit-to-stands are upward power. You need both, but without upward power, forward motion eventually fades. So every time you sit down today, I want you to think about this. That chair is not just furniture. It's a training tool. Every stand is an opportunity to get stronger. Every controlled sit is an investment in your future mobility. This is why the sit-to-stand exercise is so powerful. It's simple, it's practical, and it directly supports your everyday life. If you do nothing else, do this. Your legs, your balance, and your future self will thank you. Now let's talk about the second exercise, and I want you to really lean in for this one because this may be the most underestimated skill. when it comes to staying healthy and independent after 65. Balance. Not the kind of balance you think about once in a while, but the kind your body uses every single moment you're standing, turning, reaching, or walking. The single leg balance exercise may look small and simple, but it has an enormous impact on how safely and confidently you move through your day. Here's a hard truth that often surprises people. Most falls don't happen because someone is weak. They happen because the body can't react quickly enough to a loss of balance. A foot catches on the carpet. A curb is slightly higher than expected. The ground is uneven. In those moments, your body has only a split second to respond. If your balance system isn't trained, that split second is not enough. Walking does not train this reaction very well. When you walk, you're usually moving in a straight line, at a predictable pace on familiar ground. Your balance is challenged just enough to keep you upright, but not enough to improve it. Balance, like strength, must be challenged to improve. Standing on one leg changes everything. The moment you lift one foot off the ground, your body has to work harder to stay upright. Your ankle makes tiny adjustments. Your knee stabilizes. Your hip engages. Your core tightens just enough to keep you centered. And your brain is constantly processing information from your eyes, inner ear, and joints. This is a full body exercise, even though it doesn't feel intense. I want you to understand that balance is not just about muscles. It's about communication. Your nervous system needs regular practice sending and receiving signals quickly and accurately. When you practice single leg balance, you are sharpening that communication. You are teaching your body how to respond before you even have time to think. Let's talk about how to do this safely, because safety always comes first. Stand near something sturdy, like a kitchen counter, a chair, or a wall. This is not a sign of weakness. This is smart training. Place one hand close enough that you can grab on if needed. Then slowly lift one foot off the floor. You don't need to lift it high. Even an inch is enough. At first, you may feel wobbly. That wobbling is not failure. That wobbling is your balance system waking up. Try to hold for as long as you comfortably can, even if it's just 5 seconds. Then switch legs. Both sides matter. Everyone has a stronger side and a weaker side. And the weaker side is the one that needs the most attention. As you practice, you'll notice something interesting. The shaking decreases. Your body starts to feel more organized, more stable. That's progress. And it often happens faster than people expect. Sometimes in just a couple of weeks of consistent practice. One of the biggest benefits of single leg balance training is how it carries over into daily life. Think about how often you're briefly on one leg without realizing it. Stepping into pants, stepping over a curb, climbing stairs, getting in and out of a car. Every one of those moments requires balance. Training it on purpose makes all of those tasks feel easier and safer. Balance training also improves your walking, even though you're not walking when you do it. Walking is essentially a series of controlled single leg balances. Every step, one foot is on the ground while the other swings forward. If you struggle with balance on one leg while standing still, your walking will never feel fully stable. Another important benefit is posture. When you balance on one leg, your body naturally tries to stack itself better. You stand taller. You engage your core. You align your head over your shoulders and hips. This upright posture makes movement more efficient and reduces strain on your joints. Let's talk about fear for a moment, because this is a big one. Fear of falling often leads people to move less. They take smaller steps. They avoid uneven ground. They limit activities they once enjoyed. But less movement leads to weaker muscles and poorer balance, which increases full risk even more. It becomes a downward spiral. Single leg balance training helps break that cycle. Every time you successfully hold your balance, even for a few seconds, you send a powerful message to your brain, I can do this. I am capable. That confidence carries over into real-world movement. You walk with more assurance. You turn more smoothly. You react more quickly when something unexpected happens. Now, let me address a common concern. Many people say, I can't balance on one leg. I've tried. And my response is always the same. You don't have to be good at it to benefit from it. In fact, the people who find it hardest often gain the most. If you can only hold for 2 or 3 seconds, that's your starting point. That's not a limitation. That's a baseline. From there, improvement is almost guaranteed if you practice regularly. Balance responds very well to consistent training. You can practice this exercise multiple times a day without getting tired or sore. You can do it while waiting for the kettle to boil, while brushing your teeth, while standing at the counter. Short, frequent practice is often better than long sessions. As you get better, you can gently increase the challenge. You can reduce how much you hold on. You can turn your head slightly side to side. You can stand on a softer surface, like a folded towel. But none of that is required. The basic version is already incredibly effective. There's also a strong connection between balance and brain health. Balance exercises stimulate areas of the brain responsible for coordination, attention, and spatial awareness. Keeping these systems active is important as we age. You're not just training your body, you're training your brain. And let's be clear about something important. Losing balance is not an inevitable part of aging. Losing balance is a result of not training it. Just like strength, balance follows the use it or lose it rule. The good news is it also follows the use it and improve it rule. I want you to think of single leg balance as insurance. You may not notice dramatic changes overnight, but when you need it most, when you trip slightly or misstep, that training can make the difference between catching yourself and falling. So here's your takeaway. Standing on one leg may not feel like exercise in the traditional sense, but it is one of the most powerful things you can do for your long-term safety and independence. It doesn't require equipment. It doesn't take much time. And it directly prepares you for real life. If walking keeps you moving, balance training keeps you upright. And staying upright is everything. Now let's talk about the third exercise. And this one often gets overlooked, especially by people who walk regularly and think that's enough. Standing upper body pulls, also known as rows, may not seem as important as leg or balance exercises at first glance, but they play a huge role in how you move, how you breathe, and how steady you feel in your body. After 65, maintaining upper body strength and posture is not about looking strong. It's about keeping your body aligned, supported, and efficient. Most of us spend years sitting, driving, watching TV, looking down at phones, or leaning forward while working around the house. Over time, this leads to rounded shoulders, a forward head posture, and a weak upper back. Walking does very little to correct this. In fact, many people walk with the same rounded posture they use when sitting, which reinforces the problem rather than fixing it. When your upper back is weak, your chest collapses slightly. This affects your breathing, making it shallower. It affects your balance, because your center of gravity shifts forward. It affects your neck and shoulders, often leading to stiffness or pain. And it affects how confident you feel when you move. Strengthening the muscles of your upper back helps reverse all of that. Standing upper body pulls target the muscles between your shoulder blades, the back of your shoulders and your arms. These muscles are responsible for pulling your shoulders back and down into a more natural position. When they're strong, standing tall feels effortless instead of forced. You don't need heavy weights or a gym to do this exercise. A resistance band is perfect, but light dumbbells or even a towel can work. The key is controlled movement, not heavy resistance. Stand with your feet about hip-width apart and your knees slightly bent. Hold the band or weights in front of you. Before you pull, lift your chest slightly and relax your shoulders away from your ears. As you pull your elbows back, imagine squeezing your shoulder blades together, like you're gently pinching a pencil between them. Keep your elbows close to your body. Move slowly and with control. Then slowly return to the starting position. That slow return is just as important as the pull itself. This movement teaches your body how to open up again. Many people don't realize how restricted their upper body has become until they start strengthening these muscles. Over time, you may notice that you stand taller without trying. Your neck feels less tight. Your shoulders feel more relaxed. These changes can be surprisingly emotional for people because they affect how you feel in your body every moment of the day. One of the biggest benefits of standing rows is how they support balance. When your upper body is strong and aligned, your weight is distributed more evenly over your feet. This makes you feel more grounded. Poor posture can make you feel like you're constantly slightly off balance, especially when walking or turning. Breathing is another major benefit. When your chest is open and your posture improves, your lungs have more room to expand. This can make walking feel easier and less tiring. Many people think their endurance is declining, when in reality their breathing is simply restricted by poor posture. Standing rows also help protect your shoulders. Weak upper back muscles allow the shoulders to roll forward, which can lead to discomfort and limited movement. Strengthening these muscles provides stability to the shoulder joint, making everyday tasks like reaching, lifting, or carrying safer and more comfortable. I want to address something important here. Many people over 65 avoid upper body exercises because they're afraid of hurting their shoulders or neck. That fear often comes from doing movements too fast or with too much resistance in the past. When done slowly and with light resistance, standing rows are one of the safest and most beneficial upper body exercises you can do. The goal is not to strain or force the movement. The goal is to reconnect with muscles that may have been underused for years. At first, you might feel these muscles working in a way that feels unfamiliar. That's a good sign. That means you're waking them up. This exercise also has a powerful effect on confidence. When you stand taller, you feel more alert and capable. Your body language changes, and that affects how you interact with the world. People often don't realize how much posture influences mood and energy levels. You can easily fit this exercise into your day. You can do it before or after your walk. You can do it while watching TV. You can do a few slow repetitions in the morning to wake up your body, or in the evening to undo the stiffness of the day. You don't need a lot of repetitions. 8 to 12 slow, controlled pulls are enough for most people. Focus on quality, not quantity. If you feel the muscles between your shoulder blades working and your posture improving, you're doing it right. As with the other exercises, consistency matters more than intensity. Doing this a few times a week can make a noticeable difference. Over time, you may find that everyday movements, like carrying groceries, opening doors, or even walking, feel easier and more coordinated. There's also an important connection between upper body strength and fall prevention. When people stumble, they often instinctively reach out to grab something. Having strong arms and shoulders can help you stabilize yourself in those moments. Walking alone doesn't prepare you for that. Let me also say this. It's never too late to improve posture. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s stand taller and move more comfortably after just a few weeks of gentle upper body strengthening. The body is incredibly adaptable when given the right signals. So think of standing upper body pulls as a way to reclaim space in your body. You're opening your chest, supporting your spine, and giving your movements stronger, more stable foundation. Walking moves you forward, but this exercise helps you move better. When you combine strong legs, good balance, and a strong upper body, you create a body that feels connected and capable. That's the goal. Not just more movement, but better movement. This is why standing upper body pulls deserve a place in your routine. They support posture, breathing, balance, and confidence, all in one simple movement. And those benefits extend far beyond exercise, into every step you take and every activity you enjoy. Now, I want to be very clear about something. I'm not telling you to stop walking. Walking is still a wonderful activity. It's good for your heart, your mood, your joints, and your mental health. But if walking is the only thing you're doing, you're missing out on some of the most important benefits of movement after 65. Think of walking as one piece of the puzzle, not the whole picture. These 3 exercises fill in the gaps that walking leaves behind: strength, balance, and posture. When you train those, walking becomes safer, easier, and more enjoyable. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine getting out of a chair without thinking about it, walking upstairs without grabbing the railing, carrying groceries without fear, turning quickly without feeling dizzy, standing taller and breathing easier. That's what happens when you train your body in a complete way. And here's the best part. You don't need long workouts. You don't need to sweat for an hour. You don't need to push through pain. 5 to 15 minutes a day can be enough if you're consistent. You might be thinking, isn't this too simple to really work? Simplicity is exactly why it works. Complex routines fail because people don't stick with them. Simple movements that mimic daily life build real-world strength. Your body doesn't care about fancy exercises. It cares about being challenged just enough, regularly. These movements send a powerful message to your muscles and nervous system that they are still needed. I also want to address a common fear. Many people over 65 worry about injury. That's understandable. But avoiding strength and balance training actually increases injury risk. Weak muscles and poor balance are far more dangerous than controlled. Gentle exercises done with awareness. Always listen to your body. Move slowly. Use support when needed. Pain is not the goal, effort is. There's a big difference. Mild muscle fatigue is okay. Sharp pain is not. If you've been told you're too old to do strength or balance exercises, that is simply not true. Research consistently shows that people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s can build strength and improve balance. Age is not the barrier. Inactivity is. Let me say this directly to you. Your body is more capable than you think. It just needs the right signals. Walking sends one signal. These 3 exercises send a much stronger, more complete message. So here's what I want you to do after this video. Today, practice standing up and sitting down from a chair a few times. Try standing on one leg near a counter for a few seconds. Pull your shoulders back with a band or light weight. That's it. You've already done something powerful for your future self. If you combine these exercises with your regular walks, you'll notice changes faster than you expect. More strength, better balance, less stiffness, more confidence. And confidence is everything. When you trust your body, you move more. When you move more, you stay healthier. It's a positive cycle. If this video helped you see exercise in a new way, do me a favor and tap the like button. It really helps this channel reach more people who need this kind of guidance. And if you're over 60 and you want simple, safe exercises that actually make everyday life easy, make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these exercises are you going to start with today? Or if you're already walking, let me know how you're going to add these into your routine. Your experience can inspire someone else who's watching right now. And remember, You don't need to do everything at once. Just start with one small step today. Your future self will thank you for it.